Welcome, everybody, to the Mental Health Hour. This is the last Mental Health Hour of the year 2021.
Oh gosh, it is, yeah.
It is. And next week
Oh
we'll be
my god,
back. Not that it affects our schedule any, we'll still be broadcasting every week.
yeah. Oh my god, though.
Yes, this is the last one of 2021, and it is on burnout. Uh,
Mm.
Gemma suggested this one this week, and I really enjoyed it because I feel like everybody, this time of the year especially, is just burnout, ready to start the new year, and
Oh yeah.
you know, try and get on past the holidays. Like we talked about holiday depression and stress.
Hmm.
But if we hit past the holidays, our brains feel happy, thinking a fresh start, right? A new year, fresh start,
Yeah.
kind of recharges our emotional battery a little bit. And
Mm.
uh, we'll talk about batteries because we run off of two batteries, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Um, and yeah, so Gemma, how are you today?
It seems fitting having this topic because I am absolutely exhausted. um, but no, like good Christmas and all. Um, you had a well, you had a good Christmas till you got called into work. But
Yes, adding
yeah,
to the burnout.
yeah. Um, but yeah, not too bad. Not too
That's
bad.
good.
Been a busy week, but
This is the
definitely
week.
burnt out.
This is the week that kind of gets lost, in between Christmas and
Yeah.
New Year's. But here we are. Welcome to all of the live viewers. Welcome, TJ. Good to see you. Um, and welcome to all of our replay viewers. We are live on Twitch, and this will be edited up and re-uploaded, or I'm sorry, we will upload the replay to YouTube as we do now. Michael Joseph Murray, everybody, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome,
TJ, hey.
welcome,
Hey,
everybody.
Michael.
Um, and welcome into, as we said, the final one of the new or of the old year. We got the
I
new.
hadn't even thought about that until you mentioned it. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's pretty awesome. I actually didn't think of it myself until I saw Jim in Chicagoland post about the last catalyst of the year. So um, yeah, so here we go. This is a good topic. We're excited about it. We'll start the way we always start. Gemma, can you tell us a little bit about burnout? Just
Um,
what you know, and then we'll
yeah,
get into some slides and what have you.
yeah. I definitely think it's something that everybody will be in one way or another facing right now. As you said, it's kind of that bit in between Christmas and New Year. Everything's just died down from Christmas, and like we're getting ready for the new year, all the hopes and everything of a better new year, things like that. But just the amount of effort you have to put into leading up to Christmas
Yes,
for one day, and
yes.
it's just like,
God bless.
yeah, like everything, work,
God bless everybody
school.
that really puts that effort in, like yourself. I do quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, but my wife does a majority of the
Mm-hmm.
shopping and wrapping and Santa's workshop, all in all. And I just work to pay for it all. She works too, but I work a much weirder schedule, we'll say.
Yeah, like you're there more than you're at home lately, it seems.
That is true.
True.
Blaine,
Yeah.
there he is. Look at those emotes.
Oh, hey, Brian.
Good to see you, Blaine. Welcome
Oh,
into
I
the
have
mental.
a Pepsi one on mine too.
You
Team
got what?
Pepsi.
Oh, you Pepsi,
Team
huh?
Pepsi all the way. Yeah. I haven't got one
Just
with me.
Coca-Cola
Oh,
Classic.
no. Sorry.
Um, right on. So, burnout,
Mm.
as Emma said, a very fitting topic for the end of the year.
Mhm.
As I started saying, everybody, especially this time of the year, is very burnout. And they're looking forward to the new year to start fresh, if you will. Start out on a good, healthy foot. Uh, make your resolutions. Uh, try and turn the old into the new, right?
Oh yeah.
So, with that, we have to remember that we don't want to, uh, you know, expect too much out of ourselves and expect too much out of the new year as we're heading into it. Uh, you know, you don't want to set up for something that some higher expectations that might not be achieved, and then next thing you know, 2022 is junk, and and
Yeah.
on with the next year, as we all say. Um, but great topic tonight, and thank you, Gemma, for suggesting it. Uh,
No.
we will we will go ahead and start with some slides. Just kind of go over the difference between stress and burnout to start, and because it is two different things. Stress is like your um, you know, everyday life stressors that cause burnout. Burnout is what is a product of stress almost, among
Mhm.
other things. But yeah, I'll go ahead and throw up the first slide. And Gemma, if you wouldn't mind taking it away
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Put it
burnout.
on my phone. Which one are we on? This one. There we go. All right. So this one is just quite a simple chart with the stress and burnout. So the stress factor is putting too much effort in, and then it becomes hard to put any effort in. Like once you're completely burnt out, you've done too much, then it becomes hard to put any effort in at all. You feel emotions more strongly, which I can definitely vouch for with that over the Christmas period. And then your emotions feel blunted. And again, I've mentioned that a few times for my personal level, how you kind of feel numb to that after a while, where you feel nothing. You feel hyperactive and anxious. And then the opposite burnout side, you feel completely drained and helpless. You have less energy, and then you have less motivation. It takes a toll, a physical toll, and burnout takes an emotional toll. And I guess the two of those can work hand in hand, where you can be all of that as well. To move on to the next one.
Coming right up. We'll go on to this one here.
Yeah.
Some
Right. So symptoms of chronic stress and burnout. So you've got difficulty concentrating, poor judgment, memory related issues, and increased anxiety. Um, then general aches and pains, chest pain, loss of libido, physical exhaustion, dizziness, and nausea. I think that's like when, say, you can go to the doctors sometimes, especially if you've got a physical health complaint. And as I've stated in the past, like when you have a physical condition that isn't exactly, say, textbook, and a lot of the time the doctors will mention, like, how's your mood and things. Because, yeah, it does have an impact on your physical condition because you
Right.
can become more pained with things. Then a loss of appetite, over or undersleeping, or insomnia, over or undersleeping, or insomnia, social withdrawal, increased use of alcohol and drugs, significant significant apathy, resentment, or disinterest in things that used to bring enjoyment and happiness.
So you'll remember,
Things, yeah.
you'll remember an episode or two ago. I was talking about resentment being the backbone of bad mental health. Um, resentment is, one of those things. Hi, Des. Resentment's one of those things that causes a lot of this stuff that we're talking about as well. Especially with the substance abuse. That was where I was falling down a lot. I had a lot of resentments that I learned about through working the 12 steps. And yeah, this is another great example of where that comes into play. Chronic stress and burnout. Oh, and I missed Craig came in. Good day. Good day, Craig. Good to see you. Good to see everybody trickling in. Glad you all could be here. And thanks again for all the subs and bits and follows and likes and friends requests. And there's so much going on over on Twitch. I love it.
For you, maybe.
It keeps us active. Well, you just got your affiliate. You'll get going.
Yeah.
But let's not get burnout on it.
Trying.
Let's go on to the third slide here, and then we'll talk about some things. And after a while, we'll come back and do the last slide, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So we'll go over here.
Okay. Right. So the 5 stages of burnout. So stage 1, the honeymoon phase, as with most things. High job satisfaction, commitment, energy, and creativity. So yeah, that would be for like a new job that say you're really enjoying, things like that, and then it's all things great, and then it starts again after a while. Onset of stress. So optism warning. My teeth back in. Common stress symptoms affecting you. Leading on to number 3, chronic stress. A marked change in your stress levels, more intense symptoms. Stage 4, burnout. Symptoms become critical, increasingly difficult to cope with. And then number 5, habitual burnout. Significant ongoing mental, physical, or emotional problems.
Exactly. And this looks like, this in particular, this slide, the 5 stages of burnout are used to gauge multiple different things, but it almost looks like this is keying towards like getting that new job. A lot of people that we've talked to have made career changes, and it's a very common thing. So when you start, you start a new job, we'll say, right? And you hit that honeymoon phase where it's brand new, it's exciting. There's a lot of satisfaction coming your way from it. You get to do something different with your skill set, and then as that honeymoon phase starts coming to an end, then you start feeling the normal job strain, if you will. Like it becomes it's not as fun anymore, if you will. Like it's now work, it's now job, it's now real life. The excitement has worn off. The new car smell has worn off.
Yeah, we spoke a lot about that with Ella, didn't we? A lot of
yes, we did.
A lot on that. Yeah.
Greetings, C.S. Murphy. Good to see you, my friend. So yes, the new car smell, once that wears away, then it becomes more of a day-to-day, another ball and chain. Molly, good to see you, Molly. The onset of stress, and then that turns into chronic stress, which will then in turn create a burnout, a mental burnout, an emotional burnout, physical burnout. Because with chronic stress and everything, what are we not doing? We just talked about it. We're not sleeping correctly. Might be abusing a substance, which is going to affect our sleep and our performance the next day. If you're hungover,
properly,
you're not eating. Very good. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, so these 5 stages of burnout for sure. We're just using the example of get it, like switching careers or something, but
Mhm.
it can affect, or you can see it in many aspects of life.
Oh, yeah. It will apply to most things in life, whether it is work related or not. Even a lot of that, I guess, people would have maybe felt leading up to Christmas, having to get everything sorted, having to get everything planned,
Mhm.
and the amount of stress that goes into preparing for just one day, and it's literally all over so pretty quick, really. To think of all the time and effort and money that got put into it, and literally just the one day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, um, like you were just saying, all leading up to one day, and then we it comes and goes so quickly, and now all of a sudden we're back to uh, normal life again, I guess. And then
Mhm.
it's almost like you go through the 5 stages of grieving. You've just lost.
Mhm.
Christmas is over for the year. You don't have, or the holidays essentially have come to a close. We still have New Year's coming, but TJ says 5 seems a little basic. Number 5 was the habitual burnout, significant ongoing mental, physical, or emotional problems. So what
Mhm.
that means, TJ, it is kind of basic. You're right. Um, but it's a way of keeping it open to everybody that visits these sites, and all these sites again
Mhm.
uh, will credit these slides in our YouTube channel, so you can get, and the Discord as well, so you can get
Yeah.
more information. Uh, but yeah, these slides are just meant to be pretty basic and generic, so we can launch into talking points. If there's something more that you'd like us to touch on with that, please feel free to ask in the comments. We'll spend some time on it. And if, as always, if we don't have any of the answers for you on the show, we will follow up and
Mhm.
follow up in the Discord. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Discord, I know I wasn't until, well, it's been 2 months now or so. Uh, Gemma will talk a little bit about it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But and she'll have the links. I've already put our bio link in there. You can find it real easy. Everybody's invited. We just ask that we keep it a respectful and safe place. Um,
Mhm.
but Discord is basically just a server where we can get a community together. It's kind of like Twitter or something, if you will, but it's very bare bones. Gemma and I basically control, what content is put out there for you guys.
Mhm.
It's another way of communication. What would you say, Gemma? It's a more free
Yeah.
interaction with us, or open.
Yeah, like, definitely a safer place because we can control who is in there and who sees what. Whereas such as Twitter is very, very open to anybody from anywhere. And as you said, how we ask you to keep it respectful and stuff, there has actually been people removed for not keeping to that. And at least where we have this Discord, we can keep it that way so that it is a safe place for everyone.
Yes. So Discord's been pretty awesome so far, and it's Discord, not that cord. There, CS for. Um, and we'll go ahead and throw that up as well. Eric, welcome on in, buddy. Good to see you. I hosted you on Twitch. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, there it is. Discord is great. I'm new to it as well. So, um,
Yeah, it's in the bio link as well as the
yes, absolutely. And we'll throw it up one more time there. But yeah, bio link, and you can very easily find it. Everybody's invited. Come
yeah.
on in. This is where we'll post more information from the show. We have resources available from our Discord members. I I usually post a daily article pertaining to mental health, and Gemma does a daily inspiration quote, etc. There's so much going on in there. It's a great community, and there's a lot of great communities on Discord to further look at if you would like. But just wanted to take a minute. I know I've had some questions. One was actually from my family. They're like, "What is this Discord thing? Can you explain?" So there's that, and we will move on now. Back with burnout. So the honeymoon phase, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? It is just that, like we were talking about, brand new something, like that new car smell.
Yeah.
But all that wears off. So what do we do to keep things from burning out? Or better yet, before we get into that, let's just talk a little bit more about burnout and what it does to us. So, for instance, right now, I can give you an example of my work situation with COVID-19, and that'll launch us into something even better. Because I'm sure everybody is burnt out on COVID-19 by now. But because of COVID-19 and the Omicron variant and how we're coming back into another wave of it, if you will, more and more people are being put off work. And with the fire department, empty seats are not allowed. So we have to fill those positions, whether it be you're on a 48-hour shift or not. The taxpayers are paying for fire protection and EMS service, and we are here to provide it. Lindsay Badger, howdy, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for making it on in. So with that, with putting everybody off work, that's popping positive for COVID. It does create a strain on the rest of us. And then we're there a lot more frequently to be exposed to COVID. And so I think over the past 5 days, I worked somewhere in the ballpark of 90 hours. I'm not sure what is that, like 120 hours in 5 days? And I was somewhere in the ballpark of 90 hours out of that 120 hours. And I have now made it home. I have 5 or 6 days off. I'm very much looking forward to a break. But yes, that's a whole lot of hours.
They can't call you in during that, can they? Because I know you got called in at Christmas, but they wouldn't call you in.
If there's an emergency staffing condition, they could put out a text or something requesting that we come in. But I don't have to unless they can make it mandatory. We do have holdover days, which is what I got snagged up in. But it is definitely a stressor working 90 unexpected hours. Now, of those 120 hours, I think I was only scheduled for 48 of them. So 2 days. It just wound up being that way. I was recalled on Christmas Day to come in. And luckily, mandatory junk. Luckily, we are, my family does everything Christmas Eve night and Christmas morning. So it wasn't such a big deal getting called in, but it's still a lot of time at work, a lot of time running calls, and that's what it is. I mean, it is what it is, kind of thing. Radical acceptance. That we talked about that a long time ago, and we should probably touch on that again soon. But that's leading us into COVID-19. I posted a daily article yesterday about the pandemic burnout, and that is a real thing. Like, people are tired of this. They are sick and tired of hearing about COVID, talking about COVID. You know, COVID, this, COVID. We can't do this. We can't do that.
Yeah.
This pandemic's been going on for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. And no sign of an end. That's the
No
problem.
sign.
Yeah.
And no sign of anybody understanding what it is and what the hell we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Still, 2 years into it, we have no clue.
Yeah.
So it is very taxing on everybody's mental health. You can't see your families. You can't travel. The holidays for 2 years now have been just interesting at best, right?
Holidays? What's that?
You make the best of it. I know things are very strict over there, right, Gemma?
Yeah, definitely. We started seeing a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and it seemed like things were getting back to normal. And then there's another variant, and the numbers are far greater now than they ever were. And now it's all like they've brought masks being mandatory again, whereas they'd slackened up on that and we didn't have to wear them. Whereas now they are back to being mandatory. And there's talking about lockdowns again, which I'm not sure if they'll do because of the damage it did to the economy.
Yeah.
But it's certainly getting very, very tough again. And like when you mentioned about being sick of hearing about it, like I literally had that same conversation today because of just how much life is affected with it. Like myself, I've waited 2 years for some surgery, and when you ask about it, you get COVID, COVID, and that car accident that I had, I've still not got my car back, and they're saying there's trouble with the parts because of COVID. And everything, every sentence, every conversation seems to have the word COVID in it now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is this ever going to end?
Yeah. And yeah, like Lindsay's saying here, it's almost to the point where we're just able to tune it out. You block it out.
Yeah, I hear that.
But you can't even turn on the news. I got home this morning and I laid down on the couch, and the morning news was on, and my wife was already up watching it, and it was 10 minutes probably, and it just hit me. I'm like, it's been 10 minutes since I've been home, and they haven't said they haven't talked about anything else but COVID. There's been like 8 different stories, and it's all about COVID. I'm like,
Yeah.
didn't anything interesting happen anywhere?
That's what I mean. It's like, does anything else exist anymore? They
Yeah.
don't talk about anything else. And I hear you there with as a mum, I think that's a skill that we have, being able to switch off but still function. Although that was very much detrimental to me once when I inadvertently agreed to something because I wasn't listening. Like, yeah, and like you get really
Collective
like,
hearing
God,
not
I
quite
agreed
helping
to.
there.
Yeah.
But moving into what all this does and what this means, and the appetite loss, the over or under sleeping, the stress, the chronic stress, the substance abuse, all of this. We have one of the biggest things I wanted to touch on tonight, and we learned this. This goes back to when I was doing my rehab stint. This was something that stuck with me. I like to share these as each topic that we talk about each week, something I remember from my time at the center brings back home, which is awesome. That's the whole point of why I want to do this stuff, and why I want to keep talking about this, and keep it relevant, and keep it within the forefront of my mind. Is we live day to day on 2 separate batteries. So this comes particularly into play with burnout. So track me here, follow me. I'll try and keep it simple. But the first battery is very simple. That's your energy level, your energy battery. You wake up every morning at 100%. You charge it up while you sleep, and as the day goes on, your battery drains. You get tired. You get towards the end of the day, it's time to go to sleep again, right? And then you recharge that battery. Now, that has the lifespan of a day, right? So you can recharge that every night.
Mm-hmm.
The second battery is what they called or referred to as your mental battery or your emotional battery. This battery has a lifespan of whatever you make of it. Battery number one, sponsored by Bang. Yes, there. Um, so the second battery, the mental battery, that has the lifespan of whatever you make of it. You can choose to better this or take steps to help out your mental battery. We're going to refer to it as a battery. Um, so your mental battery gets drained through every stressor that we deal with or anything out of the ordinary. I think stressor is just a great way to kind of encompass everything. And it slowly drains and it doesn't recharge until you recharge it. Sleep does not recharge this. So when you're looking at your energy battery, it is 100% affected by your mental battery. So if your mental battery, if your depression is high and unchecked, and you're not taking care of yourself, self-care, that which we talk about all the time, and this chronic burnout and fatigue and this chronic stress, your emotional battery or mental battery can be starting at 50% each day.
Mm-hmm.
And that affects your energy battery.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, while you recharge it and start it at 100, it's going to drain a lot quicker and you're going to become tired a lot quicker and fatigued and all that. When your energy battery is already starting out at, your mental battery is starting at 50%.
Mm-hmm.
That means your energy battery is going to take a big hit. Does that make sense the way I'm explaining that?
Yeah.
Anything to add on or I missed?
No, not really. It's like, yeah, like if you think of such as your phone or something, if you don't fully charge it, you're not going to get very long out of it before it's flat. And definitely, if like your mental battery is not fully charged, say, that will massively affect other things. Like you could be more short-tempered, you could be a lot more irritable and just not able to function as well, and that will affect everything else in turn, and you will just get much more stressed out much quicker. And
Exactly. When you're running that chronic stress and you're running it on fatigue and depression, we're not in the most chipper of moods. We're not maybe not the best to always be around. So, like you were just talking about there, Gemma, it's a matter of also what you're putting out there. So, I mean, we can go back to let me see, which one was it? Number 2. We can go back to this real quick and look at this because yes, loss of interest and passions and depression is very high and isn't helping talk to people. Exactly. That's what I mean, TJ and Lindsay. Excuse me. When that chronic stress is in full swing and our energy battery is draining quicker during the day because of that mental battery not being fully charged, you get the loss of appetite, you get the loss of interest, the resentments, you get the poor judgment, memory related issues, increased anxiety, even general aches and pains, loss of libido, physical exhaustion, not to mention mental exhaustion. That should be up there as well. And it affects our sleep. It affects our social interactions. Like TJ was just saying, it isn't helping. His depression being so high isn't helping with his social interactions. and all of this factors in, and it drains that mental battery, which if you keep when unchecked, you keep it you keep that mental battery going down without doing anything at all to try and better that, because we can turn that around, and we'll talk about that here shortly. But when that's not kept in check, then our energy battery every day is started. It might as well be starting at 75%.
Can I ask as well, do you find that when you are excessively tired to the point where you can't function properly, you find it difficult to sleep? Like, I thought that because I was that exhausted, I thought that I would just pass out. But oddly, like, I find that the more exhausted I am because of burnout, the more difficult I find it to sleep. And then when I do, it's not always a restful sleep. It's very, very stressful. And I end up waking up feeling even more tired.
Yeah. And that's what Lindsay's saying here is what a lot of us have dealt with.
Yes.
We sleep, just not always at the ideal time.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, make no mistake, insomnia is a thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of sleep. Hi, Chris. Welcome in, buddy. Lack of sleep is definitely is there. However, your body will not allow you to not. It will sleep when it is tired. If it gets to the point of exhaustion, it's going to go to sleep. You may not realize it. You might be sitting at the table just, but at the same time, your body will get the sleep that it needs. It's trained to do that. It's like breathing.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that just come naturally. Now, where our lack of sleep comes into play is uh, more along the lines of laying in bed, watching that ceiling fan turn with the racing thoughts, intrusive thoughts, everything from the day. Is everything ready? Especially this time of year with Christmas. Did we get everything? Is all the kids going to be happy? Is this, that, and the other? Do we have a party to go
Yeah.
to? Where are we supposed to be tomorrow? COVID-19. What are
Oh,
we doing
yep.
with that? Um,
Always remember it at night.
yeah, everything comes all at once while we're laying in bed trying to go to sleep. Some of us turn the television on to try and drown that out. Um,
One thing I would just mention really quickly about that, have a notepad at the side of your bed. Because if you think of that, write it down and then file it away for the night.
excellent.
Yeah, journaling. Bedside
200
journaling.
bits. Thank you, Ella, for the 200 bits. It is always appreciated here. Um, and yeah, that's a great idea, Gemma. Again, how many times have we touted journaling on this show?
I think every episode.
Every episode, yeah.
Yeah.
It is just so important, but at the same time, so therapeutic. To be, it's almost as therapeutic. The way I explained it, when asked how therapeutic is journaling for you, what does it do? Remember, a week or two ago, we were talking about music. We were talking with Brian
Yeah.
last week, music,
Yeah.
and how therapeutic music is to seemingly everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine, Ella. We're glad you're here, and thank you again for the bits.
Better late than never.
But how therapeutic it is for seemingly everybody. Everybody in one way or another can express themselves through music and art. And it just seems like something the world around that we can all agree on. Journaling is the same for me. It has that same effect as listening to a good song or expressing yourself through music with your own instrument, or DJ sets, Chris. Uh, these are all perfect ways to release that.
There's some apps as well that you can get. Say if you're not great at journaling, like Lindsay's just said, there are some apps that can help you with that. And I actually started using apps at some point where you can do anything from typing just little bits to
Yeah.
loads and loads to just clicking an emoji to log how you feel, or you can actually put a song into the journal. And there's all sorts. I'll post a couple of links in the Discord for people to check out if they're interested. But there's some great apps out there for free as well that will help with that.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, another thing that the Discord is great for. We were talking about earlier, Discord and all that. Uh, Gemma's gonna share some apps. It's super easy on there. You just hop on, and we can have a server, or we can have a channel just for apps. Just anybody is welcome to share. If you have a good relaxation app, or if you have a good inspiration or meditation or anything mental health related, really, that will help just as much as one other person. Throw it on that Discord server, throw it on that particular channel, and share it. That's what it's all about. So, where was I? So recharging that mental battery is so important. And there's a couple of things we can do. We can get into that now. I'm going to have Gemma read our last slide of the day. But this, in turn, helps you start at that 100% energy level. When you wake up in the morning after a good night's sleep, you should be at 100%. The bottom line of what I've been trying to explain is that if your mental battery, that mental core, is higher up, 80s to 100, then your energy battery for the day might as well just be charging up to 50%. Everybody knows how, an iPhone battery life or Android or whatever, just a battery life on one of these things over time, you charge it to 100%, but it drains a lot quicker. Same what I'm talking
about. The battery health, that goes down, doesn't it? If you look at the battery health on a new phone compared to an older phone, the percentage is a lot lower. So yeah, it doesn't last.
Let me go ahead and put that last slide up, and you can run us through that.
Work with just as you're about to get a new contract with phones. Funny how they do
that. This kind of goes into just switching tasks, but trying to avoid that burnout. So we'll talk about each one of them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we've got how to switch tasks and avoid burnout. So start each day with a productive task. So like the list as it shows in the picture. Take lunch breaks. Create a designated workspace. Pay attention to your feelings, which I guess most people don't. And unplug at the end of each day. So yeah, just switching off and
so
letting the whole day things go.
Let's break these down. And this, by the way, comes again from verywellmind.com, an excellent mental health website. I share a lot of stuff in the Discord. I use it a lot on the show. Just a well put together website. It's verywellmind.com. I highly recommend it, and I'll throw it down here for you all. But breaking these down, start each day with a productive task. That's just a great way to get off on the right foot, if you will. If you wake up, there's nothing better than to feel accomplished at the very beginning of the day, even if it's something small. It sets the tone for the rest of the day. It really does. Let's look at the example of teeing off, playing 18 holes of golf, right? If you're on the first or second tee box and you shank one into the woods, you can let that destroy the rest of your 16 holes. Or you can pick it up, take a mulligan, do it again, not let it drive you insane up here and mentally bring you down and mentally take you out of the game for the next 16 holes. So you start start out each day with a productive task. Let's just say it's something small. Come downstairs, have a cup of coffee, and clean the kitchen counter. That way, when I
Mhm.
come home from work, I've got a nice clean kitchen. Just start making dinner or do something else. Whatever, however small it is, does not matter. Just it really does set the tone for a good day, uh, to start out on the right foot.
Mhm.
Taking lunch breaks. Uh, this falls right into eat, sleep, and exercise. Um, you have to make sure you're to stay healthy, to stay mentally sound. You want to be that trifecta of mental health: eat, sleep, and exercise. Take
Mm.
time. And Gemma, I think you and I have been talking. Gosh, sorry. I think you and I have talked a lot about how we aren't always the best at remembering to sit down and eat a meal, right?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And the importance of that. Uh,
Mm.
again, just how it affects your day. Create a designated workspace. This just comes in handy as far as uh, there's Brian. Brian, welcome in.
Yeah.
This comes in handy, very much so, to help your mind declutter. Uh, it is super important to have your own workspace. And if you work at home, let's say, um, then you need your own space to go to, whether it be a room in the house or just a corner in the basement. That is Tim's workspace. This is where I do work, and this is where I only do work. And then the rest of the house is used to live in. But if you try and do your workspace, or if you try and do your work at home, and you're doing it in the kitchen where the kids are running around and God knows what else, and the faucet's leaking, and there's too many distractions,
Mhm.
and it's going to clutter your mind and essentially drain that battery that we were talking about a lot quicker. Yeah, no touchy badges space, right? Um, pay attention to your feelings. This is something we all struggle with. It's a very hard thing to do, especially if it's not something you're used to doing. It's these daily check-ins that we're talking about. Understand what you're feeling. If you're feeling burnout, then you need to address it. Understand what
Mhm.
understand what depression feels like. Again, we're posting articles all the time. You
Mm.
guys, TJ, it sounded like you were very aware of your depression, but then
Mhm.
now, what can we do to take active steps in another direction to help that?
Yeah.
And even if it's just I feel tired, I feel sad, I feel mad. Uh,
Mhm.
take a moment to actually analyze it, and why do I feel this way? It's so
Yeah.
important, very important, right, Gemma?
Definitely recognizing it and recognizing that's how you feel is the first step, and then taking it to the next step to work out, like you said, why. Then you can work on like building building that so that you can get through that.
Yeah. And then the last one, super, super important. Unplug yourself at
Mm.
the end of the day.
Mhm.
Let it go. Whatever bad or good or whatever happened
Yeah.
during the day, don't lay in bed like we were talking about and just analyze the shit out of everything.
Mhm.
You need that time. That time is designated for recharging your energy battery, your daily battery. And you
Mhm.
need to try your best to unplug at the end of the
Yeah.
day and let your
Mhm.
body rest.
Yeah.
It's so important
Even
to
like
start
switching
your
your
day.
phone off. Get
What's
like
that?
switching even like to switching your phone off and stuff, disconnecting from things to allow you to fully rest and recuperate, because if you're not on form the next day, like everything's going to be affected, from like your job, you being a parent, everything will be affected by that.
Yeah.
It's just a big knock-on effect.
It does. It's important. All five of these things are so important to a good daily mental health. Uh, and you guys are talking about stewing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's something I think we all struggle with.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's easy to do. It's easy to analyze what's going on, um, and to keep thinking about it is just what's becoming the unhealthy part. You have to unplug. You have to let your body rest. Pay attention to your feelings during the day, but don't let them build up. And then now it's time to go to bed, and all I can do is think about that son of a bitch that that
Mm.
talked down to me at lunchtime while I was trying to have a nice lunch break. You know,
Mhm.
so I mean, just these are 5 tips from Very Well Mind. Again, one of my favorite websites as far as mental
Mhm.
health content goes. But start each day with a productive task. Again, amazing feeling to start off on the right foot. It's like getting up on the right side of the bed, if you will. Eat, sleep, exercise. Take the time out of the day to keep your body nourished. Create
Mm.
a designated workspace so that you know it's work time. This is where work happens. Your mind is decluttered here. It is out of the way of everything else that's happening in the house, and you
Mm.
can get stuff done. Pay attention to those feelings. They are important. That it's your body telling you, hey, something's wrong, or hey, something's right.
Mm.
And then unplug at the end of the day. Let your body rest. Let your body get that much needed rest.
Mm.
And I think that was about all I had for the day. We'll go into some. Did you have anything to add there, Gemma, with the last 5 things?
No, I think you covered it all. But I know you wanted to do a bit more with the Discord, so when I can do that.
Oh no, that's fine. We can go over a little bit. It's not the content about uh, the week's topic is far more important than everything else.
Mhm.
We'll get everything in, but
Mhm.
um, and like I saw Lindsay mention earlier, the multiverse peeps help a lot. You know, keeping good friends, uh, confidants, people that you can
Mhm.
trust and talk to uh,
Mhm.
is so important as well. You
Yeah,
know, to have a core group that you trust and that you can share with, can open up and share with
I
is
find that more helpful than like professionals sometimes, just to speak to somebody that I trust that's kind of like been there, done that sort of thing. I find that more beneficial for me. I mean, still having like a therapist as well, but sometimes just to have someone to confide in, like a problem shared is a problem halved, you know?
exactly perfect. Perfect way to put it. As always, it's been fun chatting with you guys and talking mental health. I enjoy doing this every week. It's been a great 2021 start to this show. This again was the last one of 2021, but that doesn't affect our schedule. We'll be back again next week with the first one of 2022. Um, and you know, we like to share our good friends. I got plugged in. www.mybunnyvalentine.com. She is in the comments today. Miss Ella, the bunny mom. Um, I got to charge
Pleasure.
these guys up. They're not charged right now as I was at work for the past several days. But more than just electronic stuff, you've got apparel, you've got jewelry, you've got all kinds of great stuff to support our good friend Ella, the bunny mom,
Mhm.
and support rabbit and bunny rescues everywhere, the world around. So yes, www.mybunnyvalentine.com. I'll drop it. Mybunnyvalentine.com. And then Fire Dude 15 is your promo code.
That's
And
also on the bio link and the website.
yes, it is indeed. And then I'd like to end also with our normal programming reminder. We will be back again next week, as always. This episode will be edited down and put onto YouTube channel, which is in the bio link. Thank you again, everybody, for all your subs, bits, follows, likes, shares, hosts. Everything that you guys do for this show is great. Tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Catalyst with Jim in Chicagoland, one of my favorite programs on the in the multiverse that we have created here. And speaking of multiverse, it is Wednesday, I believe. Joseph Burke will be back with another episode of the Creative Multiverse tonight, 10:30ish usually. His stream schedule is available on Joseph Burke Arts on Twitch. And moving forward, we will get into a little bit of socials. Gemma, if you could handle that, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah. So there's the Discord that we were saying about, and I'm just gonna bring it up on my phone to show real quick. We've got quite a few things going on there. So we've just got the daily article that you post in, where every day there's a different article in there, which is useful, and a lot of the time it coincides with what we're talking about on the show. Then there is the self-help and resources, which is all stuff, again, no, not that stuff related to the show. You can find everything that we've used, all the slides and everything in here. We are running a poll at the moment. This one's just a test one, but then there's going to be some other stuff that we're going to use for the show and help you guys to pick effectively certain topics to discuss. And then the daily inspiration that I've been posting in, just a little something each day, a little bit of positivity for each day. It's really super simple to join. You can post as little or as much as you want. You can just be in there and not say anything if that's what you would rather.
Yeah, you can come and just hang out.
Yeah, you don't have to post anything.
There.
Just a friendly place to be, lots of support if you need it. There's also the self-check that I wanted to mention. I don't know if everyone's seen it, but every week I post a how are you feeling self-check-in, and there's different emojis to correspond with how you feel. And if there's anybody that's struggling that particular week, please do reach out to them, or you can reach out to people you feel comfortable with. It is a safe place to talk to people. As they've said, it is a zero tolerance space where everybody can feel safe. And you have in the past removed for things that needed to be removed, and will do so again to keep that a safe place. So yeah, do join us if you haven't already. It's in the bio link, and I will post another link as well.
Everything is over in the bio link, and we appreciate everybody again. We're gonna do a raid here in just a moment. Let's see who's available. I've got Veda's on, if that's fine. That seems to be my only option without diving deeper. So we're gonna go raid Veda, and everybody have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We'll see you guys in the new year. And for more mental health hour content, please visit any of the websites provided, Discords, and all that. So from Gemma and I, Happy New Year. Gemma, did you want to take us out?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to raid, but just wishing everybody a Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'll handle it.
Thank you for keeping me for all these episodes, Tim. It's been an absolute pleasure. Here's to many, many more episodes of the Mental Health Hour. Looking forward to seeing where it's going to go.
Right on.
And thank you to everybody that supported us. and continues to do so.
We'll see you guys next year. And